The cloud. Here we go. All right, guys. So I didn't hear exactly what you mentioned, Derrick, but this marketing thing's pretty important. A lot of realtors get into the business and they think they're in the real estate business. They think that it's going to be easy. They just really don't understand what they're doing, what they're getting themselves into. At the end of the day, they're in the marketing business. And I know I talk to a lot of younger people that are like, oh, I'm going to go to college, or I'm in college and I got this degree, that degree. What degree should I get? My answer has always been for a long time, hey, get into communication or marketing degree. And I think they come hand in hand. If you're able to communicate effectively or market yourself, it's kind of like the same thing. They help each other out. So this is important stuff, and Derrick's going to share with us, kind of just some foundational stuff of how to go about it. And I'm sure this stuff you could either use online, you could use in print, you could use in many different types of media. So let's just get our pen pads and notebook, and then that way we could learn. So go ahead, Derrick, take it away.
All right. Thanks, brother. So I'm going to run through this beginning part relatively quickly. I'm going to go through some of the different verbiage. And one of the things we're going to learn right off the top here is how to put ourselves in other people's shoes, because this is the key to being able to get a message through to someone. We've all been arguing with someone who doesn't want to hear what we have to say because they're thinking about something else. It's not until you actually put yourself in someone's shoes and start acknowledging the things that they're feeling and understanding that you can get a message through to them. So that is a big part of understanding marketing. We're going to go through that, and specifically what people are going through right now in real estate. One of the things that the lockdown has done, and the reason why real estate has done so well in the interim, even though number of transactions are down, prices are going up, demand there's still more buyers and sellers. Think about it. People have been stuck in their houses. If you're stuck in your house for a long period of time, what are you going to start to realize? All the things you don't like about your house, all the things you wish that were different, all the things you don't have. If you're working from home, which you hadn't planned on when you bought your home originally, now you're starting to think, well, gosh, I wish I had a separate office, or I wish I had a different setup, for working at home. So these things are all working to our advantage. So we're going to talk about how we can take advantage of all those things today. So marketing with social media during lockdown is the title. We're calling it an insider's guide to help you understand how to do better marketing for your business. That's the global implication. And then how to grow your following, engagement, and lead generation online. Does that sound good to everybody? Everybody's muted, so we don't even know. Okay,
sounds
thumbs
good.
up. This is normally a very interactive presentation. So if I default on a couple of things there.
Yeah, and if anyone has questions, feel free to just unmute yourself and ask a question. That way, Derrick could clarify.
100%. And this is a 101 type class, but feel free to ask your 301 questions if you want to. So what is marketing? Marketing is the creation of curiosity. Our marketing messages are designed to create curiosity in individuals. If we can help create curiosity for people, they will take the next step. People don't take the next step when they're interested. They take the next step when they're curious. It's the facts that make them interested. But the copy and messaging are key. We went over this last time really quickly. So copy being the wording, what is the actual message that someone is digesting? And that is the absolute key to marketing. It's more key than the platform. It's more key than whether you're doing mail or, cold call or any of that stuff. The messaging is the key. So we're going to focus a lot on that. And it's also the number one question. People are like, well, I don't know what to say. I know there's all these people out there. In fact, I know someone who is a friend of mine that might be interested in doing something, but I don't know what to say. I just don't know how to word it. So that's why we're going to spend some time on that. Facts are what determine interest. So as a marketer, your job is not to generate interest. Your job is to generate curiosity. Facts determine interest. So when we are, sending out a marketing message, we want to know that what we're trying to what we're trying to do with the message is we're trying to get someone to go, and ask questions. We're not trying to give them the full answer. When you do that, people don't have a reason to reach out. You're trying to get someone curious so that they go, hey, I want to know about the details on that. Hey, what does this mean? Well, what if I'm in this situation? Those are all questions that someone has had curiosity created, and now they become a lead for you because that you created curiosity for them. and now they're a lead. So the facts, however, once they ask those questions and you answer them, that's what helps them determine whether they're interested or not. So allow that to happen naturally. As a marketer, your job is to focus on creating curiosity, getting people to contact you and start asking questions. That's how you win. The big key here, and the reason I want you to understand this globally before we go into the actual action items, is because this concept needs to effectuate every single piece of all of your marketing outreach. No matter how small or big it is, it must be effectuated like this. So you have to have an offer. Whenever we're reaching out, whenever we're creating a marketing message, we have to have an offer. If we don't, then it's just branding. If you just say, hey, I'm a licensed real estate agent, been doing this for 25 years, have great customer service, call me. That's not marketing. I don't care how much money you spend or how many places you put it, that's branding. You may get some marketing results, you may get interested clients, but probably not. Probably not, right? And maybe people will say, oh yeah, I saw your ad, or something like that, but were people going to really call? Probably not, because we didn't create any curiosity. No one's curious about your 25 years of experience in real estate. So the offer is the key thing to create curiosity. What is the offer? Our offer needs to be something that is valuable, something that has value. It needs to be free, or at least it needs to be very easy to get if it's not free. But it most importantly needs to be easy to understand and easy to cash in. That's what I call easy squared. So we need to have a valuable offer that's free, easy to understand, and easy to cash in. Not like those rebates that finally went away. None of us were cashing in on them. And so we didn't see any value in that offer anymore. You used to go buy a TV and they'd say a $200 rebate on this. They found out over time people weren't buying TVs because of that, because they're like, I'll never get around to the rebate, or they'll never send it to me. It takes 6 months to get it back. Wasn't easy to cash in. And so that offer became useless and valueless. All right. Branding. Marketing can be branding. Branding can't be marketing. If you're doing marketing well, you're also doing branding. But the big difference between branding and marketing is the offer. So just ask yourself, whenever you create a message, is this branding or is this marketing? And use the offer formula I've given you here: valuable, free, easy to understand, easy to cash in. Use that as your litmus test to see whether you're actually doing marketing or whether you're doing branding. Okay, any questions on the beginning?
Yeah, I do. So just like an example, that way people kind of grasp it, because, we have a lot of words on here and that we can understand. So right now during Corona, just to go on the fly, you could create a marketing piece that catches curiosity with the statement, find out 3 reasons why homes are selling faster during the coronavirus than before, or for more money during the coronavirus or post-coronavirus than before. Find out the 3 reasons, and then people are like, that creates curiosity, right?
Yeah. So your offer, there would be, you want to try to package it up into an offer. So the offer is, hey, I've got this PDF, or hey, I've got this worksheet on how you can sell your home for more money during, these times than you would have been able to if coronavirus hadn't come. Something like that would make sense.
So
that
free report reveals. Yes. 3 reasons why selling your home post-coronavirus is better than, or you could achieve more money. Something like that, right?
Correct.
That way everybody kind of understands like what Derrick is talking about.
Right. So that offer now,
free, it's an offer. Yeah.
Your offer is, hey, I've got information here for you that will help you make more money. It's free. All you have to do is reach out, give me your information. Because remember, it's an exchange. It's the first transaction that you make with someone when you're marketing. It's an exchange. You're giving them something, your offer. They're giving you their information. That's the first transaction that takes place with a lead. So, you want that to be good. You want it to be a worthwhile deal. You want them to say, take my information. Absolutely. That sounds great. I want to know what that is. I need that. And there are a bunch of different things that can fall under. A good example that I like to use when looking at these, because it's a good example for real estate, is the billboards that Dan Beer has. They fit this to a T. They have a valuable offer. I'll close your home in 30 days guaranteed, or I'll buy it from you. It's seemingly free, right? It's no additional cost. I mean, if I'm going to sell my home, it's going to cost me something, but it doesn't say there's an additional fee. So essentially it's no cost to me. It's very easy to understand. It's easy to cash in. And it's also a great message because it appeals to people who need to sell their home quickly. So the messaging is targeted towards people who need to sell their home quickly. You'll notice it's not targeted in the sense of like digital marketing where you say, oh, well, I'm sending it to a target of these are just the people who are going to sell their homes. You don't know who they're going to be. It's on a billboard. There's just so many people go by. The messaging is designed for that ideal client. So that one's a really good one. I've seen some other ones that are a little more shady in the real estate space that I probably wouldn't use as an example. But there are, a lot of times this is the challenge though. This can be the challenge of real estate, because what do you do to offer value to someone besides say, we'll do it for less, besides the Redfin stuff, besides the discount brokers, besides well, I'll do it for 1%, I'll do it for 1.5%, whatever. How do you offer value besides that? And this is why content is so important and why relationship is so important. Because if you can tell someone, well, I have the experience, I can help you get more for your home, that doesn't really do it, right? No one's going to just buy into that. They don't know you. So how do you build a relationship with people? You build a relationship with people by by earning their trust through showing them that you're selfless. Something that's selfless means, I'm not just in it for me. I'm willing to give you free information, 100% give you free information that should help you. And I'm just here as a resource, right? That's a great way to build trust, because why is that so important these days? People are more skeptical than ever. And if you can build a little bit of trust, the key is that they start asking you questions. As soon as they start asking you questions, you got them. Hey, Derrick, I have a question about this. Or, hey, well, what if we did this? What if we refinance this way? Or could we buy a house like this? Someone starts asking those questions. I know, okay, they at least trust me enough to ask me the question, and you'll see it happens to me all the time. People will start asking questions and they'll go, okay, yeah, that's what people have been telling me. So they're asking the same question to multiple people. They're trying to figure out who it is that they trust the most. That's what they're doing. So if we are the one who is giving them information that's valuable and offering it to them for free, most likely the other people they're talking to did not do that. So information is the key. Content is the key, unless you want to throw money at the situation. And you can do that in two ways. You can discount your fees, or you can buy billboards for $50,000 a month. Those, there's two ways you can throw money at it. So let's talk about, because today is really about free things that you can do, things that don't cost any money, where you can just use this information that I'm giving you and just use the understanding of how this stuff works to build more conversations, to create more activity, and to have more opportunities just in the people who are already connected to you one way or another. So what's the best way to use social media for sphere of influence marketing? In my opinion, is a no-brainer. It's Facebook. Now, unfortunately, it's also the best platform to air your political battles and amongst other things, right? So some people are like, well, I don't like how interactive it is. I don't like how transparent it is. But that's what's great about it. If you're a marketer, fortunately, I'm blessed with a tremendous amount of work to do. But if I wasn't for any reason, this is the first place I go. If I have an extra 20 minutes to spare on a given day, I'm making a video. 100% I'm making a video and put it on Facebook. And if you are friends with me on Facebook, you'll see those videos. And the reason is because they work. So what I'm going to tell you about today is what I call the Facebook 5. And this was how I actually built my dream on this back in 2010. I actually achieved my dream of getting a daily radio show. And I did a daily radio show for 7 years, which was my childhood dream. And I got the sponsors for that radio show by using this same method back then, which right now it's dramatically easier to do than what I was doing back then. And finding people to give you money for a radio show that doesn't exist is very, very difficult. So whatever it is you're doing, it's not that difficult, trust me. But here's the deal. There's 5 things that you can do, and I'm going to pull these things up and show you some tricks with them. So you want to be able to grow your sphere. So one of the things that I found has been super helpful for me is how do I make sure that I'm connected with people who I'm in recent interactions with? Like we all have some of these friends on Facebook who we were maybe high school buddies or something. We don't really talk anymore. I like you. You're cool. If we saw each other in the grocery store, we'd probably be high-fiving it. but we're not really interacting. So how do I get connected with the people I've had recent interactions with? Here's something that's really neat about Facebook. So let me blow this up here. Okay. So one of the things that's really cool here is this button right here, friend requests. So this is up just to the right. You've got your name, home, create, and then the first icon there, it looks like two people standing one behind the other. It says friend request. Now, if you click on that, it will tell you who's requested to be your friend on there. But what's really valuable to me is people you may know. What I have found this, which is really, really cool, and this is just amazing. I'm looking at the people who are listed on here. I need to add all these people as friends. These are people, if you have your Facebook app on your phone, whenever you text someone for the first time, or you meet someone, or you get a lead, or you're connected with someone, it starts to suggest those people as your friends. So even if you have just a small encounter with someone through a lead system or whatever, it'll start letting you know, hey, these are people you may know. And you can go through here. And so while I'm looking at these, I'm seeing these are people who have all like recently filled out applications with me, or here's an agent who's up in Northern California that referred me a deal. Here's a client of mine. So like it tells you who all these people are. So the rule here, the first one on Facebook 5 is add 5 friends a day. Go in here and look at these people. And one of the things that's cool too, when you add this person as a friend, is you can also say, hey, what mutual friends do we have? That's awesome. So you can kind of see how you're connected to them and what they may have going on. You can also look through their friends as well and see if there's anyone you know. But just add 5 a day. What that does is it helps you connect with the people who you've most recently had interactions with in the natural world, and it allows you to grow the people who are connected to you on Facebook just a little bit every day. What we want to do is we want to make a little progress every day. We can make a lot of strides over the long haul.
I have a question about that you're talking about.
Sure.
I have a business page for my Facebook, and I will manage it from my personal, and I don't really think it's a great idea to mix both.
Okay.
Or what do you think about that? Because that's what you're doing, right? From your personal?
Great question. Thank you so much for clarifying. Yes, this is a personal profile. So when I say Facebook, I mean your personal profile. The business pages, and the reason is because today we're talking about is free, right? If we go to the business pages, and I've had, a lot of success with my business page too, but I pour money into it, so it's just a different ballgame. So like if I post something from my business page, it goes to 3% of the people who follow me. That sucks. So if I post on my personal page, it goes to a certain number of people based upon what type of interactions I've had with people, how active I am, how much they're following me, so on and so forth. So it's more algorithmic. When you look at the business pages, you basically have to pay to get anyone to see what you're posting. So I still think you should have one. You absolutely should. And what you should do is, I'm trying to think of someone who has one like that. Well, let's do this. What is your Facebook business page?
It's Sama Geo Realty, like what you see on my name here.
I can't see your name. Can you spell it for me?
Sama, like Samantha. SAMAGIO.
Like
space
that?
Realty. Yes.
Okay, let's see what we got. So
No.
I told you this is going to be live and raw. This is what we're doing right now.
Okay.
Now I'm going to give you one good thing you're going to get from today is boom, you're going to get a new fan.
Thank you.
So here's the thing. Now, if I'm searching, what's great about the business pages is that they have mad credibility with SEO. So if I'm searching for Samagio Realty, for sure, this is going to come up really high, right? But if I'm searching for, what area do you work in mostly? Or what's your ideal listing to take? What area?
Mira Mesa, Sereno Valley.
Mira Mesa, Sereno Valley. Okay, so if this said, Samagio Realty, Mira Mesa real estate experts, right? That would be better, because this right here, right? This is part of what's up here. You guys probably can't see that, but as far as the tags are concerned for SEO, this is coming in right off the Facebook domain. It's also, this is taking huge precedent in the search. So if you were to put Mira Mesa real estate expert or Chula Vista real estate expert or Chula Vista realtor or Mira Mesa realtor, that would be a really good idea, because if
As a
someone
part of the name?
yeah,
Okay.
because if someone is searching for that, then you're going to come up in those results. That's the best thing that this page is going to do for you, because everything else that you're going to post, okay, you're going to have to put money behind it or nothing's going to happen. It's just not going to go to anybody. So now, unless you're like a master of this stuff, so like, it's hard to get interaction. So I'll throw you a like, right? Because
so Derrick, so following up on her, I guess on her belief that things should be separate, business and personal. What's your take on that?
It's okay if you want to, do it that way, but you're going to miss out on a huge opportunity, because with real estate and the whole industry, really, the greatest opportunity is to do business with the people who you're friends with, right? But if you're like, you know what, my friends are all broke, they're not buying houses, whatever, I don't want to mess it. You'd be surprised. They know someone, work with someone, things like that. So I personally believe that the personal profile, and then this is what I've done also myself, besides creating my media brand, Smarter San Diego, and creating free content there for people to digest for years, creating a business page as a business card, an online business card is okay, but you're not going to see people, talking in the bars about, have you been to the Samaggio Realty Facebook page lately, right? Like, it's just not, it's not Eminem. It's not, this is where you can, if you're a celebrity, you can utilize this, because why did they set this up? Because when you, with your personal profile, that's me, my kids, you can only have 5,000 friends. So once you get to 5,000, you're done. So when you go to the page, when you have the page, you can have as many as you want. So if you're busting at the seams on 5,000 friends and your interactions are through the roof and you can't handle it anymore, then go get a page and tell your following to go follow you there, so you can grow it beyond 5,000. But until you get there, I would highly recommend spending your time more on the profile than on the page.
Yeah, what I've been doing is, just to wrap it up, I do post on my personal whatever I've been posting on my business one. That's the only connection that I've made between the two. But yeah, I appreciate the advice. Thank you.
Sure. And I'll give you one more piece on there. And this is the big one, because everybody gets this wrong. A lot of times people will post the content to their business page and then share it from the business page to their personal. But the way you actually want to do it is you want to post it on your personal and share it to the business page. Okay, and there's multiple reasons for doing that. Not only because you can boost it and so on and so forth, but also because of the fact that it now shows, when people see that post on your business page, it shows them how to find you, shows them how to find your profile page. So if that's something you don't want to do, obviously you can do it the other way, but it's better for organic reach, and it's also better for people to be able to find you if you do it the other way around. Okay, good question.
Okay, thank you.
We're going to keep rolling. Okay, send 5 DMs a day. What's a DM? Direct message. How do you do it? Okay, well, if I want to send a direct message, it's this button right here. Boom, pop-up comes. We type in a message. Well, who should I send direct messages to? Well, when you click the home button, what's cool is it shows you everybody who's been active recently. It shows you who's doing stories. I'm not really into that. It shows you who's sharing, memories right here. It shows you who's posting stuff. So a great way to do this is to just scroll through and see someone who you haven't, interacted with in a while, someone that you know, and it won't take long for that to happen. Every single person I've scrolled past has been someone that I haven't talked to in a while that I should definitely contact Carmel. So what you do is you just hover over their name, pop this up. And right now is such a great opportunity, because most people are at home. Most people are online more. Most people are not working at the office yet. And everyone has been dealing with the lockdown. So what a great opportunity to talk about, like, hey, got cabin fever, come up with something cute to say, or just say, hey, how's the lockdown treating? Are you guys okay? Is everybody happy and healthy? That was the message I got the most response with of all of the copy that I've used the last 2 months was, hey, just hope everyone's happy and healthy. I had prospects who hadn't responded to me for months who were like, yeah, I am. Thanks for asking. So that, I mean, just hope everybody's happy and healthy. Would love to connect with you. Something as simple as that is all it takes, and people will respond. And then you have connection. What's great about that is multiple fold. Not only now is that person now connect with you and you have a dialogue going with them, and they're checking you out and they're going, oh yeah, she's that realtor. Okay, cool. But they're also, now Facebook is recognizing that you guys are connecting. So now it's more likely to show you their post and show them your posts. Remember, Facebook's always trying to figure out, it's just like Google, it's trying to figure out what do you want to see, and then it's trying to give that to you. So if it sees you chatting with someone, it assumes that you're interested in what they're doing, what they have going on, and it'll be more likely to show you their posts. So by sending these messages, you're not just getting people to go, oh, hey, yeah, that's right, you're a realtor, great, I want to sell my house. That's not necessarily how it works, but what it does is it builds on itself. It builds on itself because it connects you with more people. It shows more of those people your stuff, and vice versa. So it gives you more opportunities to connect with one another. And I've got a whole bunch of stuff that we're going to talk about regarding that. So it can be very simple. A direct message doesn't have to be anything crafty. It can just be, hope you guys are happy and healthy and dealing with all this madness, that we've all been dealing with. Or it could be a question, it could be a poll. There's a bunch of different things that you could say, and I'm going to talk a little bit more about in a second. But the point is to do it. Do this, check these 5 off. If you add 5 friends, and this does not take hardly any time, send 5 direct messages, you'll see big things changing. So and this is why I got ahead of myself a little bit. So what do I say? This is the number one question I get. So I'm reaching out to people. Okay, great. What do I say? Number 1, hope you're doing well. The one that I just gave you. Hope everybody's happy and healthy, during this pandemic. Let me know if there's anything I can help you with. Very, very simple. Hope you're doing well. This is a good one too. Lots of response to this one. Been too long. Let's catch up. Everybody said that sounds like great news to everybody. Oh yeah, we should get together. Terrific. Let's figure it out. Now it's easier to meet with more people. Zooms. I don't know about you guys, but I have a new found efficiency with this. Because if we were doing this at Voltaire's office, it would take me, 40 minutes to get there. It'd take me 40 minutes to get back, right? This is insanely efficient, and this is becoming more normal. I just had a client, no kidding, today for the first time ask me if we could Zoom. It's the first time it's ever happened. Can we do a Zoom? Sure, absolutely. So do a consultation with a buyer over Zoom. So this has become more normal. So been too long, let's catch up. That's my favorite one. I use that one the most. I also like to ask people questions. I think when you send direct messages, not just to send something that is closed-ended, not just to say, hey, I'm just touching base, no need to get back with me, but just if you know anyone who wants to buy or sell real estate, I'm here. No, I want to ask questions. And if they're real estate related, this is actually a great way to start a conversation about real estate. Hey, Voltaire, I know you know I'm a realtor, but I just wanted to get your feeling on the market right now. Would you be more or less likely to buy a house during a pandemic?
Yeah, that's a good question.
Right?
Open-ended.
Open-ended, it's a poll, right? So I'm trying to get your opinion, which is 2 things. I'm showing you respect, right? I'm also gathering information, and I'm beginning a conversation about real estate. And whatever someone answers, I get to have the discussion with them. I get to talk to them about it. And that's just a great opportunity, right? So I call it you don't know anyone, because what I'm really saying is you don't know anyone who, and it could be anything. You don't know anyone who's looking to sell their home in this area, do you? It could be totally random. Hey, Voltaire, you don't know anyone who's looking to sell a home in Mira Mesa, do you? I've got a buyer who's been looking up there forever.
Yeah, that's a great question.
It just starts the conversation. It shows that you're hustling for your client. And you can say this about anything. Hey, you don't know anyone who wants to buy a house in Alpine, do you? I've got a house out there for sale that we've been looking for the right buyer. It's a horse property or whatever. Just ask the question. Hey, you don't know anybody. You don't know anyone, do you? And you can ask a million questions like that. They never get old, and they can be super specific. If you find a great deal, like how often does it happen when you're looking for properties for a client or something like that, you see something on the market that's a great deal? Why not send that to people? Hey, do you know anyone who'd be interested in this house? It's the best deal I've seen in this area in a long time. You know anyone who's looking to buy a house in Mira Mesa? Boom, right? It starts the conversation. And what you'll be blown away by is how often someone has a connection with the question that you'll be asking them, even though you're coming out of complete darkness with it. What are your thoughts on? That's another one I like to throw out there because, again, it's asking a question. It's showing respect. Hey, what are your thoughts on, the Fed lowering interest rates? Does that make you happy about the opportunity to buy a house, or does that make you upset about your savings percentage going down? Stuff like that I think is always good. Just stuff that's in the news, stuff that's already being marketed really heavily that, the news is blasting everywhere. Those are the things you want to ask people about, because those are things they've already seen and heard, and they're like, oh wow, this is a real thing. Oh wow, my one of my friends who's an agent is asking me about this. And people love they love to have their opinion, to know that their opinion is valid and just invaluable. So questions are great. And then something that I always default to and say, I send this one on a very regular basis. Is there anything I can help you with? Is there any way that we can, do something together or help each other? And I think that's always a great thing to ask as well, because it shows people that, you're interested in helping them as much as you hope that they might help you. So those are some ideas for DMs, and you can use those for text messages, of course, as well. And if you want to add to this, say send 5 DMs a day and 5 text messages a day, because not everyone is on Facebook, right? A lot of people are, but not everyone. And post. Okay, so third on the Facebook 5 is post 5 times a week. You might say, well, Derrick, we looked at your page and you aren't posting 5 times a week. I know, and I wish I was. I should be, and I haven't been, because it's been very difficult for me just to get to it, which is a good thing from where I'm at. I did do a live update last night, so I did an old school self shooter, kind of like a little bit more raw. And then I gave away some free stuff. By the way, this is the best Christmas present apparently that you can get for anyone is a bike, because nobody wants to buy one, but if it's free, everybody wants it. So just there's a little Christmas present knowledge for you. I put this free bike up and got destroyed with DMs. So maybe a bike giveaway.
That's a nice bike. Have you given it away yet, or still available?
Yeah, I gave it away. I actually had so much demand that I was able to get someone to give money to charity in order to get it. I thought that was pretty cool. Doing quick. So this is my normal video setups, a little bit more structured. I'm using, different things, but posting 5 times a week. What are we posting? And this is, again, when I tell people to post, they're like, yeah, but I don't know what to post. I don't know what to say. And I don't know what content to put in there. I don't know what cadence to use. Okay, so I just made a very simple one here for you. The great thing about Facebook is that you don't really need to think too much about what you're posting. You don't really need to. You don't. If you have, when I say personal family, so I broke this down into Monday through Friday, but you could obviously set it up a different way. Personal family means pictures of your kids, your dogs, your food, whatever. Just stuff, show people what you're doing. It can be totally candid, doesn't have to have a meaning. Can be very, very simple. These things work. The reason that it works is because it keeps you front of mind, right? If you have your business page set up, or personal page, set up appropriately. Let's see if I've got this. There we go. So, if you have it set up appropriately, it tells people what you do right there, right? So when people look at you, they will be able to see what it is that you do right there. So the more people who see you, the better. It's amazing how much that works. I can't even believe it, but it's amazing how much that works. So personal family, if you have pets, post pictures of your pets. Think about the stuff you're posting on Facebook as stuff that you want to archive. What are things that you want to see and remind yourself of 10 years from now when you're looking at your Facebook memories? And that's the right mindset to have. Like, whether it's a beautiful sunset or whether it's just a great moment you want to capture, whether it's something funny that you saw, you just want to take a quick picture of it, that qualifies personal family. And this is just to keep the algorithm moving. Now, I have listed on here Tuesday and Thursday for business. So I'm saying 2 out of 5 posts for business. Now, Gary V, if you guys follow him, he says 1 out of 4 should be business, or what he calls a right hook. He would call the personal family post a jab. Jab, 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 right hook is the book he wrote. I think there should be more business posts. And the reason I think so is because when you're in the real estate business, listen, we're not selling insurance. We sell the American dream. This is something that the vast majority of people are really interested in and really, really into. You know, there are some people who already own their dream home, and that's great. But most people, it's a dream, and we make that dream come true. So the more insight that we can provide people toward that, the more information that we can give them about what's going on around that, the more likely they are to talk to us and ask us when they have questions. So what do I post for business then? What's a good business post? Videos are great. I know not everyone's cool with doing videos. Should I do a market update? My opinion on that is if you do, don't do it very often. Unless you're going to really get some insight. It's like some true, like numerical insight. Market updates.
Something that's valuable.
Thank you.
Basically.
Yeah. Why not a market update? Because what's the hook? What's the offer? You know, the content should have an offer attached to it. So if I'm going to post something today about mortgage rates dropping, you know, what's the value? What's the hook for that? You know, how do I position the messaging so that it makes sense for my business? The best way to do it, and Voltaire sort of let the cat out of the bag a little bit earlier, there's two really good ways to think about this business content. And it could be top 3 and how to. Okay. So those are the 2 things I want you to write down. These are the most important things from a marketing perspective. Top 3 and how to. Whenever you're creating content that you want to use as a marketing message, think about it in that context. The top 3 things you need to know before you buy a home in Mira Mesa. Top 3 things to maximize your home sale in Chula Vista, right? These are things that people can understand. They can understand how that would be valuable. Okay, I need to know what those things are, because why does that make sense? Because if I'm a home seller in Mira Mesa, I see something that says top 3 things to sell your home for top dollar in Mira Mesa, I have to look at that. I have no choice. I have to. If that comes across me, I have to look at it because it's so pertinent to me. And if, like, for example, if I was looking for, and this happened, we were looking for a row machine, turning our garage into a little gym. And we were looking for a row machine. If I got a pop-up that said, you know, how to find the best row machine, I would have to look at that because we spent like 3 days trying to figure out which was the right one to get. So the point is, if you create the content for the ideal client, then that's who you're going to attract. So,
right. And you're creating curiosity, just like you said in your foundational piece at the introduction. So we got to be finding curiosity. I'm thinking about all these agents that post, it's a great time to buy a home, contact me. You know, that's like garbage. You know, you're not giving value. You're not making anyone curious. So if you guys are those agents, just understand what you're doing and then just re-up, because it's almost like spam. So we don't want to be spamming people. Hey, Derrick, quick side question. Yeah. Somebody asked in the box, does this, the posting schedule you have for yourself, is that also applied to Instagram or potentially any other platform?
Yeah, I think so. The difference is the way people interact, right? And what, like, for example, with Instagram, I can't share, maybe you can, I don't know. I think you can share one-to-one, but I don't think you can share someone's post to your timeline. There's things that are different about them. I would not consider myself to be an Instagram expert. I do use it to run ads because it has delivered some results. But since we're kind of talking on the other side of things, on like the free side, sort of do-it-yourself side, today, I don't know, I wouldn't consider myself an Instagram expert, but I will tell you this. What's great and what we learned from Instagram is that Facebook, people in general, react more easily to photos. So I know you're like, wait a minute, this is a guy who owns a studio, who does video all the time. He's telling me not to do video. And I'm not saying don't do video. I'm saying if you don't like video, that's okay. because people respond well to pictures. Pictures are something that when people are scrolling through their phone, they can digest your picture like that. And if you have it structured and you have a decent message there, they can digest it very quickly. Even if you have a 30-second video, think about how much longer that takes if I'm scrolling through my phone. So people say, oh, well, keep your videos under a minute. No. That's not how you decide how long your video should be. Your video should be as long as you have something valuable to say. So if that's 1 minute, then be done in 1 minute. If that's 27 minutes, then be done in 27 minutes. But there's no magic number. To keep someone's attention for 30 seconds when they're scrolling through something, you got to really have something there. But if you post a photo, it's easier for people to see that, sort of digest it. That's why I'm saying take pictures of your family, take pictures of your kids, take pictures of your pets. People can see these, they can digest it very quickly, and it gives them a warm and fuzzy. So now you have an association between your name, your branding, and this warm and fuzzy feeling, right? So that's why those things are really helpful. On the business side, as Voltaire was saying, you want to be offering value. And that's why how to and top 3, how to maximize the value of your home in Mira Mesa before you sell. And you want to say that you don't want to say your San Diego home, right? Because that doesn't talk to someone specifically. If I say your Solana Beach home, your Mira Mesa home, that Solana Beach homeowner sees that, who's thinking about selling, they have to look at it because it's so specific to them. It feels like kismet, right? It feels like something divine has happened and it's put this in front of them. Like, well, gosh, I guess that's good timing. I need to look at this. So use those specific terms. Make different ones. You can do how to and top 3 about the same thing. How to sell your Mira Mesa home for top dollar. Top 3 things you need to know to sell your Mira Mesa home for top dollar, right? You can do the same content in different ways, in different places, different areas, and make it valuable. Make it valuable. The information you're giving to people should not depend on another step. You're saying the number 1 thing to do is this, call me. No, that can't be it. It's got to be something actually valuable that you're willing to give away to them. And you should protect yourself when you're doing those, by the way. When someone requests it, you call them. You don't give it to them until you talk to them. Hey, I'm sorry to leave you a message. Just need you to know that I need to make sure it's not my competition I'm giving this information to. It's very, very valuable about selling a home in your area. So give me a call back. Just want to confirm that, and then I'll get it over to you. Very simple. You can do that. And if people don't respond, hell with them. If they do, and they're connected and engaged, usually what happens is they don't even look at it before they start asking questions. Yeah, I was interested in that. Here's the reason why, because, and they start telling you the story. I haven't even given it to them yet. And they're already telling me the story, which means they're like, okay, they've made their decision because I was the guy who said, I will give this to you. Yeah, I didn't even have to do it. All I had to do was say I was going to do it. And that bought me enough trust. So how to and top 3, that's the big one there. Okay. How are we doing on time, Walter? 1:44. All right. I'm going to
we need to wrap it up. Yeah.
I'm going to porridge through this last one. So comment 5 times a day. So the Facebook 5, number 4, comment 5 times a day. I'm going to show you a couple tricks on this. So when you comment on someone, first of all, not only do they see you, but you help their post. So if I go over here, and one of my favorite things to do is when I see something that I like, is I give people 3 claps. Clap, clap, clap. Now, people see this. They see me, right? They see my super cute kids. And then they see my 3 claps. And almost every time people will like this immediately. I bet you while we're on this call, although I don't think she uses Facebook that much. I could be wrong. They will like it. They will see it and they will acknowledge it by liking my claps. This helps this post for this person reach more people. It also helps them see me. But here's the real cool thing that you can do. And I actually saved this so we can do this today. So I posted an update video yesterday, sort of raw and whatnot. It was fine. It wasn't my best, but I needed to get the information out there about the forbearance stuff. We've figured out now who can refinance in forbearance, post forbearance, and so forth. So I wanted to get that out there. But you notice I didn't like or reply to any of my comments. The trick here is, and what's really cool is you can go in the next day and you can comment on your own stuff and just say, just respond as you would respond to these people. And what happens is when you comment on it, it repopulates it in the feeds of other people. Other people who've watched it, other people who commented on it. And you'll notice this when you scroll through your own Facebook, you're like, why do I keep seeing the same post show up? Well, someone got engaged and everyone you know is liking and commenting on the post. So Facebook is like, hey, this is the hottest thing going on right now. I want to show this to you. So when you go through and you make these comments, it is something that will help repopulate your own content. So when you make a post, don't forget, go back to your old posts later. It could be a week later, it could be 2 weeks later, it could be the next day, it doesn't matter, but go back to it later and comment, reply to those comments, and it'll repopulate that into people's feeds. So when you're commenting on other people's posts.
Derrick, I have a question for you.
Sure.
I see you're at like 4,988 people. What are you going to do when you reach 5,000?
Well, I have reached 5,000 a few times, and what I do is I go through and delete people.
Gotcha. Okay.
And I start with, by the way, if you need to do that, let's see here. I'll get to my friends. Let's see, I think we're going to do this way. When you do that, well, we're short on time, so I'm not going to show you that. But basically, you go into your friends and you scroll through, and you'll see there's like who don't have a profile picture.
Right.
Those are probably people who are not using Facebook.
Okay, got it.
Those are the first ones to delete. So you comment on other people's posts to help their posts get seen, and to also, help people see you, and it can create some engagement. Now, you don't have to do the 3-hand clap. That's just something that I do if I see something and I don't have something specific to say. But I will specifically say things all the time, like, great job, man, or congratulations, or you guys are awesome. This is a great way to remind people who you are, that you're there, that you care, that you're paying attention. It's really easy, and it does not take hardly any time at all. The main thing is say something encouraging. Let's not, there's a lot of people commenting a lot of stupid crap. Like, just say something encouraging, say something positive. Make sure that your name and your brand is always associated with something positive. And then this one, like and react. So a like, a reaction, they've actually added a reaction. So I'll show you this one. So now Facebook has like, love, and this is the new one, care. Care. With a hug, a heart hug. Haha, wow, sad, and angry. So pretty much use love and like, but this is also good. Now, if I go in here and I like this, I love being the first person to like something. I'm all over. I pretty much will like everything that I see posted. When I go through, I'm just hitting the like button, right? And why would I do that? Well, because I'll show you over here in the notifications. So here's the link I'm tagged in. I get to see Monty Bowman. He liked the link. Why did I get to see it? Because he was the last person who liked it, right? If a whole bunch of people had liked this, it would just say, let's see if we can find one here. I haven't posted enough recently. See, here's my clap, clap, clap. Cynthia, she liked it. I said, great listing. It was a great listing. She put it in escrow in like a day. So I don't have a good example for you here in my current notifications, but basically if 80 people like something, it'll say Voltaire, Derrick, and 78 other people like this, right? So those 78 people don't get the branding. They don't, when they look at the notification, they aren't seen, they're just lumped in with the crowd. It's the last person to do it. So if I really wanted to stalk someone named Voltaire Lepe, what I would do is I would go in here and I would just find his posts and like everything, right? Now, if I do this, if Voltaire goes and looks at his notifications, what's he going to see? He's going to see Derrick Evans liked your post. Derrick Evans liked your post. Derrick Evans liked your post. Because the people who are liking these older posts have already gone in and done it. So now I've gotten all over this person's radar for free, simply and easily. And it's a way to stay engaged without spending a lot of time on it. Believe it or not, I do not spend very much time on Facebook.
So if one question, if you delete someone, are they still following your public post or no?
Yeah. If you unfriend them, they are still technically following you. So they may not know, but if they go and look to see your friendship status, they'll see friend requests, like request friend. So they'll know that you've unfriended them. There's no way.
Ozzy asked, you should delete Voltaire to make room on your friends list.
Yeah, sometimes
All
you
right.
gotta make some hard decisions. So that's the basics. I hope that's helpful for everybody.
Yeah.
And you can get something out of that. Hopefully that'll help you with the understanding on the marketing side, the messaging side. And obviously this is a basics class. You can go way, way, way further into this thing, but hopefully that's helpful.
That's super helpful. I think one thing that, that everybody here would notice and understand is that all we're doing is we're really being social online. So if you meet somebody in person, you're like, hey man, how you doing? Like, one question I always ask people is like, shoot, how's your mom? How's your sister? Or whoever it is that we know, that I know. It's like, I'm always asking those questions. Oh man, my mom's doing good, da, da, da. And we're like talking. So you want to do the same thing on Facebook. You don't want to, in my opinion, you don't want to, be like, a lot of cheesy business people that are just like, and maybe not being authentic or whatever. So if you're just having a regular conversation like you would somebody in person, I think that goes a long way. There's a couple questions. Is there a quick way to delete groups of people, Derrick?
Not really, but when you go through your friends list, you can hover over a person and unfriend them pretty easily. So
okay, cool. And then somebody else asked a two-part question. I'm a new realtor. I want to make a video, but I don't know what to make it of. Should it be a specific area in San Diego or more like an introduction video? That's the first part of the question. And then the second part, I can get a lot of insight views on Instagram and Facebook on my flyers, but I am not getting responses. So what do you think?
Okay, cool. So on the flyers, on the getting traction with no responses is just a lack of offer, right? So whatever your flyers say, there's not an offer on there. So people are curious enough to look at it, but there isn't an offer compelling enough to get them to take action. In other words, they're either unappetized by what's on the flyer, or they feel like they've already got the information they need. So you need to have some sort of offer attached to that flyer that tells someone what the next step is. Like, to get this, text me here, whatever that may be. To get more photos or to see the virtual tour, text me here. Some additional offer that's associated with the flyer.
So like Dan Kennedy, marketing guy, would say message market media, right? So maybe Janet, your media is good because you have a lot of followers on there and all that. But maybe the message isn't what it should be. And then that way you could get people to respond to it. So like Derrick said, make an offer. What's the offer? The other part is for new agents, as far as you mentioned, I guess her question is, should I make a introduction video or talk about specific neighborhood? At the end of the day, in my opinion, you should make as many videos as possible, as much content as possible. Good quality videos if you're gonna make them, just like Derrick said, because you don't want people just zoning out and just, if you're not bringing the heat, bringing fire right off the bat, which a lot of, it's really hard to do, then like Derrick said, a post, a photo is worth a lot, right, Derrick?
Yeah.
What do you think?
Yeah, I think on that, the question with the video, especially I'm emphasizing a new realtor. So I'm a new realtor, so I don't have all this great insight. I don't have all this, experience necessarily to say, hey, I've been doing this for all these years and I've done that a million times. So how do I make content that is valuable? Well, when we're talking about, I wouldn't worry about doing a video. I don't think that's step one, right? I think step one is to get in the right habits, the things we just talked about, the Facebook 5. Do those things. Make it easier on yourself. Coming up with a good video is hard enough, much less when you're a new agent. What are you going to say? What are you going to offer people? So I would much rather see you posting pictures when you're touring homes, even if they're homes that you're just touring yourself. You don't have a buyer yet. Okay, go look at some houses, take some pictures of cool stuff, take pictures of cool kitchens, take pictures of pools. Why do people buy houses?
I have a lady
Master
who wants
bedrooms.
to install a gas stove.
Can you mute yourself,
Instead of
Dennis?
her electric one.
So
I got him right here.
You got him. Okay, so
That's why I'm here.
Nice job, baby. So take pictures of things that make people buy houses. Master bathrooms, right? Master bedrooms, kitchens, awesome yards, pools. These are the things that make people pull the trigger on buying a house. How many people buy houses because they're looking for a yard for their dogs? An insane amount of people are willing to buy a house, move out of their condos, and take this big leap because they want a better life for their dogs. Okay, so there's make a list of the things. This is my answer to you, Janet. Make a list of the things that you believe are the reasons why people buy houses. And if you don't know, because you're so brand new, you just got your license yesterday or whatever, no problem. Google it. Top 10 reasons people buy homes. Look at the information out there. See what it is. Start poking those buttons. See what those things are and post content that draws people toward those things. I bet you in that top 10 list in San Diego, it'd be dogs, room for dogs. I swear so many people buy houses for their dogs. But find out what those things are, post pictures and cool things around those items so that you can be poking those buttons with the people in your sphere.
Yeah, one thing I've seen that's pretty cool and that gets traction is whenever a new listing comes up, let's say you're targeting a specific neighborhood or whatever, or a cool listing, I've seen agents just post it on their social media and talk about it, and a bunch of people just respond. And I'm talking about like nice listings, or something like a cool listing. I saw one come up here the other day, and I was like, man, I want to get inside that house. It was near my office, and I didn't get a chance to, but then I saw that an agent posted it online, with all the photos, and I was like, oh shoot. And I got a bunch of comments like, oh man, it's a cool house and blah, blah, blah. So it doesn't have, if you're a new agent, it doesn't have to be your listing. It could be somebody else's listing, and you could just, talk about it. So I think something like that is cool. It gets, it gets people talking.
I actually had a question about that because I did that recently with a property that came on market here in Mira Mesa, and I got instructed not to, but I was kind of thinking that other realtors do it too. So I don't know what is the right way of doing it. Can you post it? Because I just saw, Derrick, on your Facebook that you had that hot property in Oceanside.
Mm-hmm.
So that's not your listing, obviously, because you tagged the listing agent, correct? So do you have to ask for permission, or you can just post it and just tag the listing agent? What about the listing agent not having social media?
Yeah, I would defer to the old ask your broker, response on that one, because I'm not an attorney or anything. But my understanding is there's certain information that's public as long as you don't misrepresent. So in other words, as long as you don't try to make it look like it's your listing.
Of course not.
And you give credit to someone. This is information that's public. It's on redfin.com. It's on Zillow.com.
Yes.
It's there. Now there are instances in the past where I've done stuff without permission, and people have called me out on it and said, hey, that's our listing. What are you doing? I said, do you not want me to help promote your listing for free? And they kind of shut up.
Thank you.
So I've never actually gotten in trouble, but I have done it a lot.
Yeah. And it's one of those things where, most people, if they're smart, most agents would want as many eyeballs as possible. So I get those emails all the time from real estate agents around the county, and they're like, hey, Voltaire, I saw that you listed this property, over here on B Street. Is it okay if I help promote it? And then the cool part is sometimes they send me like a copy of how it's going to look like on Craigslist or wherever the hell they're going to post it. And I'm just like, cool, because I'm thinking my client hired me to try to sell their home and to get top dollar. So if there's more eyeballs on it, that's cool with me. So anyways, if you approach someone, hey, my name's Samantha. I just saw that you listed this great property over here on C Street, and I wanted to see if it's okay for me to post on my social media to help to help you sell it. Is that cool? And then, if they say no, that means that they're not doing a lot of business. They're not looking after the best interest of their client, and they just they're just new to business. They just don't know how to be a business person. So if you approach, 5 agents on 5 new listings in your area, you're probably going to get like 4 out of 5 to say yes, I'm assuming.
Yeah, that's what I experienced. About 8 out of 10. If you ask for permission, we'll say yes. And, a lot of times you can just point people, to a link or something that already exists online too, if you want to. It doesn't really matter. But the point is that you're showing value. You're saying, hey, I'm in real estate. I'm finding deals. Here's a deal. Go get it. Meanwhile, it's probably going to be in contract 24 hours, in this market, but you're still doing your job. You're letting people know. You'd be surprised how many people expect the agent to find the house for them and how many agents are letting the people find the houses themselves. There's a huge disparity there where, agents are telling, hey, go look online. Let me know when you find something. I'll show it to you. Buyers don't like that. They want you to find the house. That's what they think your job is. So if you can just be doing that for people who aren't even your clients yet, you're giving buyers what they want. Everyone wants a deal, right? Especially on the buy side. So if you're showing people deals, that's also super beneficial. So I think you can win both ways with that.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I think you're muted, Voltaire, or maybe we lost you.
Okay, there we are. Anything else? Any other questions before we wrap up? No? Okay, well, shoot.
Cool, guys.
It was a very good information. Good looking out, Derrick. Thanks for coming on and hooking us up with his knowledge. If you guys have any questions
Thanks,
about
Derrick.
marketing, reach out to
Dennis.
if you guys have any questions about marketing, reach out to Derrick. He does do loans, by the way. Quick snippet. Tell him a little bit about your what type of loans you do, Derrick.
I'm a VA loan specialist, so focused on helping veterans buy and refinance homes. We have no fees, so we don't charge anybody any fees, and our rates are competitive and frequently beat the credit union. So we're really the best place for people who are veterans to get their home loan. That's my elevator speech.
Cool. Yeah. Quick and straight to the point. Thanks a lot. Appreciate it.
Thanks, guys.
And we'll catch each other later, man. All right, guys. Have a great week. Catch you.
Thanks, Voltaire.
You're welcome. Bye.
All right. Thanks, Big.
All right, man. All right. Peace out. Heart. Blue love. Over here. Banging on Zoom.